Hey, I'm Duke from the Intimacy Liberation Army, and we're talking about Successful First Dates, Part 2. If you haven't seen the first version or the first module of this, click this little card over here and go back and watch that. And then I'm going to continue on in this video here. Next tip is focus on gratitude and appreciation. You ever been on a date where you're hanging out with somebody and all they do is talk about what they're complaining about, like what they're whining about? Like things that piss them off in the world. They're looking to find a connection with another human that also believes the world has all these negative things going on. And then you get to go trauma bond and connect with each other on things that are lame. Don't do that. When you go out there, focus on gratitude, focus on what you're grateful for, focus on what you're truly lucky to have in the life that you have, focus on the qualities of the person in front of you that you truly appreciate. And if you don't appreciate much, dig into them, find the emotional stuff, and then appreciate them for that. If you focus on the opportunities to celebrate, to focus on the opportunities to be grateful, focus on the opportunities to be appreciative and celebrating, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. If you focus on those opportunities, then you're going to have those opportunities. They're going to manifest in front of you, and you're going to be able to see these opportunities for celebrating the good stuff, right? One thing that this does is it makes people really happy that you're celebrating, right? They're not finding somebody else who can just bitch, whine, moan, complain, feel helpless, all this other shit, right? It gives them a fresh perspective, right? Like I said, I don't know if I told the story in the last one, but I was out with these girls and this Burning Man type of guy. And he just had such a refreshing perspective on everything. He was really charismatic. He was really, he's traveled around the world. He has like a lot of communication skills, but he was able to talk about the world from a different perspective that the girls that I was with, they don't normally look at the world this way. And I was able to kind of connect with him and kind of egg that on. But the perspective was refreshing because it wasn't naive. It wasn't like, oh, I'm cool and here's my heart and I'm vulnerable and all this other stuff, but people don't understand me. It wasn't naive at all. It was like, yeah. Some people don't get it, but this is the way. This is the right way to live. And he went out and he did all of this stuff, regardless of what he was getting judged for. Like he just being himself, right? If you come from a place of appreciation, if you come from a place from gratitude, coming from a place of celebrating the cool things that are going on in the environment around you, you sort of pace the person that you're with the humanity of it, then you lead them into a happier place of being, like a less stressed out, more appreciative sense of being. And if you can continue to carry that frame and they fall into that frame, then they start noticing opportunities too, and they'll feel much better around you. You can future project too, but you can future project from a place of gratitude and a place of appreciation, and that will engender those people to think that when they're around you, they feel this type of way, or they focus on these type of things. And it's going to get you a lot further when kind of digging into their emotions and their memories than it is to kind of sink down into the depths with them as they start whining, bitching, complaining, feeling hopeless, and all that other stuff. So yeah, focus on gratitude and appreciation. Next tip is do something fun. Okay, this might seem stupid, but I would not believe how many dates that I've seen in the bar where some guy tries to bring the girl to the bar, give them a bunch of food, talk about some stupid bullshit, get really drunk together, and then go home. It's like, nothing wrong with that strategy, I guess, but why did you have to set it up on a date? Like, you could have just came to the bar and looked for somebody who wanted to talk to you and pull that way. Like, you don't need to like set it up on Tinder, go out, do the thing, eat the chicken strips, laugh a little bit, and then whatever. Like, go do something fun. Like, if the bar's fun, great, but at least go to trivia or karaoke or something. Like, just like hang out in this public place so that you can negotiate whether or not she's drunk enough to sleep with you. Like it's too one-dimensional. I have a really complex theory about how to run dates and how to create memories and stuff in the main course in the membership. So I'll spare you the fucking 45-minute presentation here, but go do something fun. Go find something where you can create an emotional spike with her and you. Let her see those vulnerable sides of you, and you see those vulnerable sides of her. Right? Get her to a place where she's thinking about things that are outside of her norm. Right? Get them to a place where they're thinking about new perspectives of the world, because they're hoping that you're going to be exciting. They're hoping that you're going to be provide something new, not just feel comfortable, right? You don't have to make them feel unsafe to be a little adventurous or a little dangerous. Like, safety is not a part of that. But if you're just kind of lame and really nice and hoping something works out, then that comes across as the energy of the date. And if you didn't plan something fun and you're in that leader role, you're dumb. So don't do that. Next tip is leave a good impression. So I was on the phone with one of my clients, and he had gone out on this date and did all this stuff and great, but at the very end, he didn't quite know how to handle the end of the date. So he kind of waffled it and did this whole like, oh yeah, well, I guess maybe I'll see you again, if you want to or whatever. She's like, yeah, totally. He's like, really? Oh, I thought I was doing poorly. Oh no. Oh, I think you were doing better than you think you were. But like you could hear in her voice that she was like, oh, we just saw the chink in his armor, right? Like it started creating doubt in her brain. But as he was going out and being cool, he was fine, and then he started, self-sabotaging at the end of it. And I say, anytime you leave a date, you don't really know what the other person's thinking. You just met them. Leave a good impression. If you want to be seen as an escalator, somebody who expects to continue the physical or the romantic side of things, then fucking act that way. Like, try to kiss her. If she doesn't like it, it's fine. At least you made the move, and she'll know that that's who you are, and she can make that choice later on if she wants to carry on, because she knows what she's in for. But if you don't, then she's going to assume that you didn't want to, or that you were too afraid to, or whatever, and that's not leaving a good impression. If you don't want to do that stuff and you want to just leave it open and be like, yeah, no, you're a lot of fun or whatever, let's hang out later next week, like set a real good impression, right? And if she doesn't want to see you again, if there's obviously the chemistry wasn't there, you can still leave a good impression that like, oh yeah, no, you're really cool, thanks for coming out, like I really appreciate that. If I see you out, like I'll say hi, and if you don't make it awkward at the end, if she doesn't feel like guilty and weird that she fucked with your head, or you don't make it like, you don't get angry at her, like stuff like that, like don't leave a bad impression, like leave a good impression, because you never know, like the next date you're on could be her best friend, next date you're on could be one of her friends. She could see you again, change her mind because she was just being stupid that night and in a bad mood, right? And if you sort of screw up the impression that you made, then you don't get the opportunity to walk into those doors later. So treat her well, treat her with respect, and leave a good impression. And so these next two are the most important, I think. When you first go out on the dating scene and you don't do a lot of dates, you'll suck at it. Sometimes you'll get some good responses because, like humans are humans and there's a lot of leeway for mistakes, but like you're not going to be great skills wise. Like like I said, you might get great responses, but you're not going to be good at it. So what I want you to do is every time you get done with a date, do a quick debrief. Write in your journal, put it in a voice recording in your phone, whatever it takes. Just like, okay, this is what I did well. This is the point of the night where it was really cool. This is where it started to drop off. This is how I saved it. This is what she liked about me. This is where she started to zone out. And then go, how could I have made it better, right? Like why, what could I look at to improve? And then you'd be like, okay, well, I think I left too much on the table with conversation. I tried to fill space too much. So maybe I should let her talk a little bit. Maybe I could come up with something that will prompt her to speak more and dig more emotionally, or you felt like it was too surface level, and like maybe I need to be a little bit bolder with the things that I'm asking and things that I'm sharing. Could I be more vulnerable, like stuff like that? Make those notes, and that way you can make a better. You can try better for it in the future, and just do that debrief. And at the end of every date, you're gonna run. If you're doing high volume like I do in the program, you're gonna run 2-3 dates a week, and you get through those iterations pretty quickly. You'll learn what to do and what not to do, what stories work, what attitudes don't, what types of people appreciate which type of delivery. Like it's endless what you can learn, but you'll start to kind of make the skill set of going out on dates like super tight. And so if you don't do the debrief and you just kind of rely on your emotions, they're going to lie to you the next time you remember that stuff. But if you kind of record it in the moment right after the date, then you can like, oh, okay, like that's where really my head was at this time. And I have this stuff from journals from 12 years ago when I was doing hardcore like pickup stuff. And I also have like audio recordings that I would like talk into my phone at the end of the date and just tell myself where my head was at. And when you go back and listen to those things, it's amazing to see the progress you've made. Like you're not as cool as you think you are, but you're also not as lame as you think you are. And you start to hear a more objective view of it. Hearing it from your own voice is pretty trippy. So do a debrief at the end of the date and then iterate. That's the last step here. Figure out what you could have done to make it better, and then the next date, do that thing. Try the new thing. Push out of the comfort zone one little thing. Like my YouTube coach is like, okay, it doesn't matter. You start pumping out these videos, and then every video you release, just make it a little bit better than the last one. And then, 100 videos from now, you're going to be fucking bomb. Okay, cool. Do the same thing with dates. Iterate. Like, I have no problems being nervous on dates. I have no problems having conversation on dates. Some people don't like me. Some people don't want to continue on with me. Some people don't want to go get physical with me. But I don't really have any fear or issues or places where I don't know what to do. Like, I've done it so many times. It's like, I know what works. Like Matt says, you did the testing, we know what works. So, inside joke. But anyway, iterate. So, today's points were focused on gratitude and appreciation, do something fun, leave a good impression, make sure you do a debrief, recording, or write in your journal, and then figure out how you could have iterated and do it the next time, and then search for the next one, whether it's day 2 with the same girl or whether you need a new girl on another day 1. So that's my tips for a successful date part 2. Listen to the first one, other recommended videos here, and then there's a playlist on the new dating stuff here. And I will see you tomorrow, because we do this every damn day here at the Intimacy Liberation Army. Until then, stay awesome.